Alright, I got some stuff here all related to one person, and that person is Michael Jackson. Now, I grew up really loving Michael Jackson. I did not grow up in the 80s and 90s, but I grew up, nowadays in the early 2000s. And, despite Michael Jackson being a controversial figure, to say the least, um, I still love the guy's music, right? He's incredible talent. And there's a Michael Jackson biopic. I love so many of this dude's albums and stuff. And I'm just a big fan of his work. Because I don't know what's real, what's not. I don't really care at this point. The man's dead, right? But I'm very curious about this biopic, so I did want to start collecting some of his albums again. And, I don't really have any of his albums on vinyl, so I went with his best album for my one vinyl a month I picked up. Or not his best album, my favorite album, because he has so many great ones. There's Thriller. I don't know why I can't think of any up the name. Love the artwork on this one. This is Off the Wall. To me, Michael Jackson 80s stuff is like peak Michael Jackson, right? In terms of popularity, all that stuff. But to me, my Michael Jackson is 70s Michael Jackson. I love a lot of that funk sound to stuff. This was after he was just coming off of being too old for the Jackson 5. He was a teenager, young adult, about 18, 19. And he couldn't really keep that kind of stuff going. His dad was abusive, so he was trying to also let some of that go and deal with that part of his adult life, which I don't think he ever really truly healed from or was able to free himself of, which is unfortunate for such a wonderful talent. But, he was able to take the best qualities of the Jackson 5, bring that into that 70s funk sound, really make it work, and then from there he just skyrocketed and went on, did the whole 80s scene and things. So it's pretty great stuff. And then so here's the track listings. My favorite songs on this album: Don't Stop To, Get Enough, Rock With You, Get On The Floor, Off The Wall. Just so many great ones in here. Stevie Wonder worked on one of the songs in here and stuff. It's just great stuff. It's a great album, and this album's awkward. I don't like the artwork layout to this, but it is really nice. You can pull out here, but it just, a part of me wants to, I'm holding it upside down. But no, that's the correct way, because that's how the vinyl comes out, so it's very awkward. But I do really like this album, so I want to have that. And then I'm probably going to review this movie closer to the Michael Jackson biopic, and that is Moonwalkers. Now, if you notice, there's something funky about this release here. So, this is a UK Blu-ray that I had to import. It was on sale for $15, and so I imported it via just ordering it directly from Amazon. And I believe it's Warner Brothers UK that owns the right to this. So I don't know if this is going to play in my Blu-ray player. My Blu-ray player is not region free, but I think honestly a lot of Blu-ray players do play other companies' Blu-rays from other countries just fine. So I'm gonna try it. If it doesn't work, then I could maybe just return it or something. So that's why there's all these labels here. This is one thing I don't like. This is why I don't collect a lot of foreign releases. A lot of foreign releases, I don't understand it. So let me show you this. Let me just explain what I'm talking about. So for example, let's pull out. Let's try to figure out a good one to pull out. Okay, for example here, let's pull out Deadpool right here. On the back here, has the rating right here. Small print. You can read all the details, why it's rated that, right? But UK releases and other country releases, it's right stinking here on the artwork. To me, that's disgusting. Then it's on the back and huge print. Like no. Sometimes the whole description of why a film's rated that way is on the front of the artwork. Why are you ruining the artwork to do that? I don't know if it's like a law thing there in these countries that they have to do that. But to me, I vastly prefer the way the U.S. does it, right? right there, PG-13. Here's why it's rated that. They're not hiding it from you. They're just prioritizing the other facts and details about the product more so than the rating. Because at the end of the day, let's face it, if you got to the point where you're buying a Blu-ray, you don't really give a shit why a film's rated the way it is, and you probably already know and you've seen the movie. Unless it's like a kid's movie, I guess. Right? Because a lot of parents are probably going to buy movies that are animated for their kids or whatever, and maybe not know what they're rated. Right? I'm sure, like, some parents fucked up and bought their kids Sausage Party or some shit, right? But for the most part, like, I don't get it. But yeah, I don't know why this does not have a in-state U.S. release on Blu-ray. This is a pretty popular movie in some regards, right? This is where a lot of the imagery of Smooth Criminal came from. And, a lot of people still talk about the game. I forget what the name of the game was. I think it was an SNES or NES game that this movie spun off. That spun off of this movie. People still talk about that. Not really sure why this does not have a U.S. release. I don't think we'll ever get one. Just because Michael Jackson is embroiled in so much controversy, and I believe that when that biopic does come out, I think next year, a lot of people are going to be talking about that biopic, and they're going to be watching it and probably make a lot of money. That's probably, I saw a report, someone questioning why they're spending so much money, and I'm just like, are you fucking stupid? Michael Jackson's a phenomenal, and still is in some ways, but, people will be talking about it, and all that controversy will be brought back up. People will have debates about it, right? And I'm sure I'll get some people called like a child groomer if I enjoyed the movie, right, or some crazy shit, I'm sure. But, like, at the end of the day, a lot of these companies, they're still radio stations like, I'm not going to play Michael Jackson's music on the radio. I'm not going to have the Simpsons episode that he's in on Disney Plus, sort of thing. It's just really, really dumb. I think that I understand the controversy with this man. I understand he's a very flawed human being. He has his issues. I'm not negating any of this stuff, right? But he is still a part of music history. He's still a living legend. There are still things about this film worth appreciating that have nothing to do with Michael himself. And, we shouldn't just hide away history because one man is a flawed human being. I don't know. That is my perspective. So hopefully this does get a U.S. release. If it ever does, I will gladly get rid of this release because I hate foreign releases just because I think they're very ugly. And to me it is an inconvenience. I don't own any other foreign releases, just this one. I think I own the Adventure Time series, like most of the seasons on Blu-ray. And this was an easy grab for me, though, because it was cheap. And I really do want to watch this movie for that video. So let me know your thoughts. Like, share, and subscribe.